Welcome to the STLK in the UTA Jazz Podcast. I'm Conjo. This is Paul. Paul, I've said it so many times, but we're so back, man.
We're back.
It's been a minute.
A week and a half, 2 weeks.
Like it's been a minute since we've been on this channel here, so I'm excited.
Yeah, should be a fun day.
Like I'm really excited.
I was texting you about 2 a.m. last night, just like expressing like excitement for what we have in store today.
I think the exact words were, "I am so giddy to get on the mic."
Yes, that's the exact word.
That's the energy we need, man.
Well, here's the thing. You told me, and we'll jump into this, but you told me to come up with some fake trades, and I said, I've been doing it all week anyway.
And the rabbit hole was created.
Yeah, and I didn't see my family for 6 hours after that. It was great. Locked myself in the bedroom.
It's like, babe, fun. What are you doing? You get in the bathroom. Work. She starts getting all sussed out. She's like, what are you doing in there? You're like, nothing. You come out. You just have Trade Machine just
screenshots
going crazy on your phone.
In my hidden folder looking at trade requests.
I like that a lot. So I mean, we got some stuff to touch on.
Yeah.
Christmas is in a week.
The Jazz are playing well.
Dude, bringing up Jazz and Christmas. Do you remember that year that we played on Christmas?
Yeah, I do.
That was amazing.
Who did we play that year?
We played the Trailblazers.
Yeah. We had some fun jerseys.
Like the green with the little like white one, like the little white inside of the basketball.
Yes.
Dude, I thought those were special. I have one laying around somewhere.
Did Dame go for 50 that year on us? I feel like he went for 50 every other game on us. I feel like
probably, but like I'm like, so when does the day come where we play on Christmas again? I remember I had waited literally my whole life, and I was like, finally we get to play on Christmas. And I remember I was on my mission, so like I didn't even really.
I remember enjoying it very well.
I didn't get to see it anyways, but like. So typically, I still haven't seen it.
We're not close, by the way. Like, if anyone's wondering, and I think some of our trades that we're about to make via my trade machine are going to get us really close. But until we get here's the thing: Markkanen's a star, but until we get a household name in Utah again, like Donovan Mitchell, we're not going to.
So let's do these trades with the goal in mind to make it to Christmas.
That's all we care about.
What's going to get us to Christmas Day games?
Like the Knicks aren't great, but they play on Christmas every year.
Dude, that's what's so dumb, man.
The Christmas slate's fun this year. Did you see it?
No, but I would love to be enlightened by it.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
My favorite thing is, typically you open presents early. You spend your time with your family early because everyone's just so giddy about Santa. So it's like these games start at 10 or 11.
Well, that's the thing about Christmas.
It's great.
It's not that it's overhyped, because it's not. I think Christmas is a great holiday. But it's like you open presents and then you all just kind of look around and you're like, so 9:15. Like, what do we do now?
I mean, if you got a Lego set, you can maybe get working on that.
Yeah, I always got 2K growing up. So I'd just spend all day on that.
Yeah, but nowadays I'm like, cool.
Thank you for the shoes, Mom.
Yeah, let's turn on some basketball.
Here we go. So 10 a.m. Knicks Bucks, which I think is a good matchup.
That's a solid Christmas matchup.
Yeah.
The Knicks just should not be in that conversation, but of course they're going to be.
So I would like to see the Sixers Bucks instead. But right after that, we get the Warriors Nuggets, which I think that's a fun matchup. Jokic is going to kill the Warriors.
Suck, man. But again,
no one knew that going into the year.
Yeah, okay, so that's fair. That's fair.
This is the marquee matchup, the 3 p.m., 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific time, Celtics at Lakers.
That's fun.
That's a good matchup.
And see, that should be the night game.
I think prime time I think that's the prime time slot on Christmas. Okay. I think it is, just because it's right in the middle of the day. Right
that makes sense. People are eating dinner,
The next one's kind of a snooze fest, in my opinion. 76ers Heat. I feel like that's going to be a game that's 86, 84.
I mean, that's when everyone's had their eggnog. They're we'll just throw this one. So
at 6 p.m., we're doing some late gifts. Mom's bringing out the big thing she bought for dad.
Maybe some tradition games going on. I don't know.
And then when you're laying in bed at night, dreaming of Santa one last time, Mavericks play the Suns.
Oh, there's another game after that.
Geez. That's fun. And that's an 8:30 tip-off here in Utah, 10:30 on the East Coast.
76ers is oh man, I've had a long day. I'm going to take a nap, and then I'm going to wake up and watch Mavericks Suns.
I think that's why they put the 76ers Heat there. It's because it's going to be a low-scoring fist fight, and then you can wake up, watch Kevin Durant play Luka. Which is pretty fun. That's the Christmas Day slot. I really like the games this year.
No, that'll be fun. So,
maybe the Heat and Sixers are the only one that's not as strong.
Yeah. We'll dive a little bit deeper on those on Friday. Maybe throw some predictions, some giveaways based off of who can guess what, kind of thing. But Jazz have won the last 3 out of 4 games, and I'm gonna say that like in an ESPN way. It's like, well, right where the cutoff is, where we would lose a lot of games, let's start there.
Yeah,
you know, it's always just that's how everyone ever does it. They're just like they've won the last like 12 out of 15 this thing, and I'm like, dude, you're literally you're literally just finding the niche of like, okay, well, this is gonna look a lot better kind of thing. Great wins, honestly.
Yeah, great win last night.
Like we can talk about the other wins. I want to talk about last night's win and highlighting 27 points from THT and Sexton.
So you asked me to do this trade machine before the game last night.
Yeah.
I threw THT in every trade. I was like, can we, like, not that I don't think he's a good player, I'm just like, I think the experiment's done.
Well, no, not only that, he's got upside.
Yeah,
he's
like
22.
He's only 22. Yeah, like he's young. They both played phenomenal. Walker Kessler had double in the first half with 5 blocks.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And I saw Tony Jones tweet, and I'm actually going to put it up here because it was a funny tweet. And I was like, is he going to get 5 more blocks?
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't.
Dude, the triple-double watch has been lit up lately.
It's
Olynyk almost had one the other day. Like
Keontae's out, but I think he's gonna.
Dude, they're like close.
I think the players know about it too.
If Olynyk would have gotten it, I don't know what I would have done.
I would have done unspeakable things.
I mean, we go from Carlos Boozer to however many years later, 15 years later, and we get Kelly Olynyk. That
shouldn't have. Yeah,
just shook.
I'm surprised in Rudy's dominance. He never had a 10 block, 10 rebound, 10 point game.
That's actually true.
But the thing is with him is so many people were scared to go to the rim.
He didn't even get attempts.
Exactly.
That's actually a really good point.
Towards his second and third defensive player of the year season, they just stopped shooting.
Literally just, I mean, that's what they're saying with the Timberwolves now.
Yeah.
They drive to the paint and they go, yeah, no thanks.
He's
Kick
good,
it.
dude, by the way. Like,
no.
I thought we won that trade last year. I don't know
Once
anymore.
you start to break it down, it gets interesting. But
anyway, Donovan never had one, but again, he didn't really.
He got close. I mean, Rubio got one in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
so like. Technically, you don't count it, but
you should count it.
Yeah, like he got one in the playoffs.
Either way, great game last night.
Great game. I mean, all around game. Keontae's still out. I mean, especially because, and this will lead us into what we're about to do, is yesterday morning, I guess 2 days ago, John Collins is officially on the trade block.
Yeah. And
then last night, or yesterday morning, says JC, Jordan Clarkson, is available to trade.
I didn't love hearing that, by the way. Yeah. Not that I don't think we can get good pieces, but I was like, hey, that's our guy.
Yeah. So, you know, on the Instagram story, if y'all follow us, you know, make sure to hit us with the follow right now. We do a lot of interaction on Instagram stories. Tons. You know, I like to do polls. Polls are amazing, dude. I love polls just because everyone can give their thoughts. It's an easy space to just, you know, throw it in. So I did, you know, would you trade JC basically, essentially? And we got 57% yes and 43% no. I would have thought we got more yeses.
Yeah.
Like way more yeses.
So Jordan Clarkson has 3 years left on his contract at $23 million.
Yeah, well, we just barely extended him.
Like, what do we, like, does he fit our timeline? I don't know. Can we jump into the first trade?
What is our timeline?
We don't have one right now.
Which is what is now what we're going to talk about. So for everybody watching, we're going to have a little fun here. This might literally take up the rest of the pod. So if you're listening, just, you know, hopefully go to YouTube, like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, if
that's important.
Let's get some subscribers here. You want to get those notifications that we've posted. But it might spend the rest of the time, so really dial in here. If you're listening, it's a little bit harder because we're going to be throwing the trades up on the screen.
People got it. They can do this.
So
they can do this.
We're going to throw up a trade that, you know, Paul produced on Trade Machine, and we're going to dissect this. Maybe one of us wouldn't do it. I don't know. We're gonna dive into that. And one specifically I threw up on the Instagram story, and it shocked me. Yeah, and you'll be shocked of what the responses were.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe I didn't see it because I did go to bed early last night.
Yeah, I posted a little bit late.
So I'm going to do this first one. And this is just more of like a, let's see.
Can we do the Lauri one first?
Should we?
Yeah, let's do
the first one. I was going to do the Warriors one.
No, let's do the Lauri one first.
Okay. This one's really important.
Just because this is the buzz, I think this is a good tone setter here.
So I heard on the Bill Simmons podcast, the #1 sports podcast on Spotify for the last 30 years, they were talking about Lauri to the Thunder this morning. And I said, you wouldn't believe what I did last night.
That was this morning?
Well, it released, I want to say Monday morning, but I didn't listen to it until this morning.
Yeah.
And then they said it and I was like, that's sweet.
See, these trades are realistic.
These
Teams
are
that are in
realistic.
the buzz, these aren't just like dream trades for me and Paul. Like, these are, I think, the most realistic trades possible. And this first one I'm really excited about because there is a lot of buzz of Lauri and OKC. OKC actually has the best betting odds to land him if he were to be on the trade block.
Well, here's the thing with him. So OKC, I think, is a player away. I think
they are a player away.
They are a player away.
Like legit.
If they are away from something, it's a player.
They are a player away, yet they still have 15 first picks.
I think they're 16-8 right now. I think they could win 50 games.
They're third in the West.
They're incredible.
They get one more guy. It's scary for them.
So Jalen Williams, I think, is one of their best young players.
Yeah, so throw up the trade. Put it right here. Like,
for both of them.
Yeah,
Like, oh, they won't be able to see.
Yeah, no, and then we'll throw it up right here.
So,
let's just go down.
So real quick before I jump into it, Danny Ainge reportedly, if he is going to trade Markkanen, wants at least 5 first-round picks, which is very similar to the Donovan Mitchell package, and players similar in skill, which is a big asking price. But again, OKC's in a position where they can do it. I think Jalen Williams, I think that one's J-Dub. I can't remember. Either way, he's the better one.
He's the better one?
He's the better one. He's the really good one built. He would be in the trade. Davis Bertans, Trey Mann, and this is where it gets interesting. A 2025 unprotected first-round pick from Philadelphia. A 2026 first-round pick unprotected. And again, they might be protections if this is a real trade. I just didn't throw them on there. 2026 first round pick from Oklahoma. 2027 first round pick from Denver. That one's unprotected. 2028 and 2029 first round picks from OKC. I believe you can't trade back to back years of first round picks, so it might have to be 2028 and 30. But again, that's it. The Jazz give it Markkanen, and then I toss in THT because I'm like, let's just ship you off with him. That's realistic, right? 5 first-round picks, Jalen Williams, Trey Mann.
See, so I look at this trade and I say the Thunder wouldn't do this.
Too many first-round picks.
Too many first-round picks. But at the same time, I feel like those two players are worth that.
So...
the thing is, they also have those picks, so it's a lot easier for them to give up 5 versus a team that's literally like, okay, well, I'll give you my future, like the Cavs.
So with this, 2 things would have to happen. One, OKC's only giving up 3 of their first round picks. The other 2 are just ones from teams that probably aren't going to be good.
Yeah.
Aren't going to be bad. Philly and Denver, they're going to be late first round picks. You have to, and again, this is against the CBA, but you have to talk to Markkanen and say, hey, would you extend if we landed you?
Yeah.
And if that's like a wait and see, maybe it's less first round picks. But if he's like, yes, absolutely, you do whatever it takes.
Like if I'm the Jazz, like I'm honestly taking this. Bertans we'd probably drop just because his contract is that's
one of the things.
For some reason, just so absurd.
Teams like this do this all the time, like the Thunder, where it's like you have a whole bunch of cheap, really good players. And
especially if they want to pay Lowry, they're going to get rid of Bertans.
You have to. But to make the salaries work, teams do this all the time. You have teams where they sign an okay player to almost an inflated contract. That way, when they do want to go attack a star, they have the salaries to do it without having to give up too many players.
So if you're the Jazz, are you doing this?
I'm doing it in a heartbeat.
So if I did this poll on the pod or on Instagram,
everyone said no.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think it was?
86-14
for no.
Yeah.
Like the Jazz wouldn't do this.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it was 59-41.
Oh, more people said yes than I thought.
Yes, but I was shocked that people said no.
Why not though? Like, here's the thing, Markkanen.
No, but they're saying no to the Jazz doing this trade.
Like the Jazz wouldn't do it, or they wouldn't do it.
No, they're saying if they're the Jazz, they wouldn't do this trade.
5 first-round picks and 2 good players.
So that's what I'm saying. Is you said no, but let's reiterate the grammar here or the context here. These people are saying no, they would not do this trade if they were the Jazz. Again, majority is saying no.
Markkanen's great. And here's the other hard part. The story released yesterday with Sam Amick from The Athletic that Markkanen wants to stay in Utah. How rare is it to get a top 25 player that's like, yes, keep me in Utah? So again, it's hard to do this trade.
And it's just hard, like, if we're not going to really make it that far anyways, why not just get some picks?
Yeah, and again, I've talked about it on here plenty of times, but this was a similar situation to the Celtics like 05, 6, 7 with Paul Pierce, where it's like, should we trade him and get more pieces for the rebuild, or do we just kind of like let him play his 40, 50 games a year and then build around him in a couple of years?
Well, that's the thing is he's still young.
Yeah, so like 25, 26.
Yeah, so it's like, what do we do? do we build like trade some everybody else and like build around him and Keontae kind of thing? Is he still young, or is it where's the window? So that's where it comes down to is what's the window here?
Can I tell you what we do?
Yes.
We'd say no to that trade, and we pick up the phone and we call the New Orleans Pelicans.
Here we go.
And we say, hey,
pull up the New Orleans Pelicans.
Hey, you guys need some scoring. You need another ball handler. McCollum's out all the time. May I interest you in Jordan Clarkson, Taylor Horton Tucker, who just dropped an effective 27.
This is trash.
I'll give you the 2025 Minnesota pick, the 2025 Cleveland pick, and this is the kicker. This is why they say yes. I'll give you a top 3 protected 2027 Los Angeles Lakers pick. In exchange, you give me a 23-year-old who is currently averaging 25, 6, and 5 on 60% field goal shooting.
Dude.
Named Zion Williamson.
But what does Zion do for our team?
He gives us the wing scoring that we need. He gives us a star power in Utah so we can get Christmas games. And more importantly,
but like if
he gives the Jazz some buzz.
Dude, he might not even play on Christmas. He might be hurt or sad or
don't care.
Had a too many cheeseburgers.
He's healthy, don't. When he's healthy, he's one of the most explosive and dynamic players in the league.
Dude, but that's the thing is we say when he's healthy too much.
He is healthy. When's the last time you went up to Salt Lake? And I love Utah, but when's the last time you went up to Salt Lake and you were just like, I'm blown away with the amount of food options here? I go to Crown Burger every other time I'm up there.
Well, anyway. I mean, if you go to Crown Burger, for anyone listening, if you go there before a Jazz game, they give you free parking.
Really?
Yeah. If you spend $19, they'll give you free parking.
I like the pastrami burger there.
So the thing is, if you're going to eat food, you might as well go there because you're going to get free parking out of it.
Really good plug.
That's literally the definition of knocking 2 birds with 1 stone.
No, that's the textbook definition.
It's awesome.
Zion would love it there. Sorry, at Crown Burger. I think he would do well in Utah. I think
he's got to lose some weight, though. He has to.
He's got to lose weight?
Yes. Did you see what Stephen A. Smith said?
Yeah, that he eats the table. That chefs are going out of their way to look for him. Objectively funny.
Dude, but
Did you hear him try to say lackadaisical the other day?
Yeah, that was insane.
I didn't stop laughing at that for 15 minutes.
That was literally insane. But that's the thing is, like, I look at this trade and I'm like, I don't want to give up 3 picks for
they're not even ours. And here's the thing. Minnesota and Cleveland are going to be good next year. Like, that's fine. The only pick we're really giving up here is the Lakers for Zion Williamson.
I know, dude. This is the thing is you love Zion, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. Let me tell you.
Like, so it's tough.
Can we throw up some of my tweets right here of Zion from the last year?
Because, like, it isn't like, I don't do this. I don't do this trade.
So
I don't do this trade.
The first game after the in-season tournament game, when everyone called him fat on national TV, he didn't like that, obviously, because he's a professional athlete.
Yes.
He went crazy.
He has his moments. He does.
When he's motivated, he's a top 10 player in the league.
Yes, 100%. But that's the problem.
Get him in Utah.
He's not motivated.
Okay, this is turning into a discussion of if he can be motivated. He's 23 years old. I think he's going to figure this thing out.
Maybe it's New Orleans.
I was just
unhappy
in Louisiana
with the team.
for 10 days. I gained
Would you be unhappy?
Pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be. I would be unhappy. And the food's really good. So I just resort to eating a bunch.
Dude.
You don't like it. I love it.
They've got to figure something out. There has to be some contingencies on that trade. Be like, hey, you lose this much. Like an Eddie Lacy situation. Remember when they were like, you have to like lose weight in order to play for this team, and then he didn't, and they cut him?
Was that the Heat?
No, Eddie Lacy.
Who did he play for when they did that?
The Packers running back.
Oh, I was thinking of a different guy. The one that went on the podcast and said the Heat said you have to lose X amount. I can't remember who it was.
Who was that?
I can't remember. I don't know why I thought it was Eddie Lacy,
dude,
though.
But I remember that happening.
Yeah. Either way, you hate it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if
I'm the Jazz, I'm doing it. I'm basically giving up the Lakers pick for Zion and Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Okay. This next one, consolidation trade. More of like hey, you want to go to a contender? You deserve to be on a contender. Jordan Clarkson to the Warriors. Again, you don't think they're a contender. They always have the potential, though. With Steph Curry, again, it's a loose term right now. They're struggling. Andrew Wiggins just got benched.
Andrew Wiggins is definitely on the trade block.
Absolutely.
Like if they can trade him, they absolutely will.
So what they would have to do is attach a pick, which is normal.
100%.
This might be a heavy asking price, but I'm saying the 2027 first round pick. I would probably say top 5 protected. and they just swap Andrew and Jordan Clarkson. Is that crazy? I feel like that's pretty realistic.
If I'm the Jazz, I'm absolutely taking this.
Like, you can get a first round pick for Clarkson. Great.
Yes. The Warriors, on the other hand, I don't think they do.
Really?
Just due to the fact that like they kind of need size.
They need size bad.
Because think about it, they have Steph Curry and Chris Paul. Then they have Clarkson and Clay.
So I thought
and
about
they're starting,
the same
but the thing is,
Olynyk.
they're starting Podzemski right now.
Yeah.
So like maybe that would like help.
Put
I don't
Clarkson
know.
in that spot. I don't know either. That's why I was like, is it a loose one? We could almost put any Jazz player here.
Especially with hopefully Draymond being banned from playing basketball ever again.
You hate it.
Like they've got to get some.
Draymond.
They've got to get some. Dude, you love him.
I love him,
dude.
Like I don't love like the hitting stuff. Like,
Dude, I literally hope he gets banned for the rest forever.
he's not gonna get banned.
I know, but when I saw he was suspended indefinitely, I got so happy.
He's gone for at least 3 weeks. Did you see that?
I was literally like indefinitely. I was like, that's perfect. I love indefinitely. I love indefinitely.
I was telling my buddies. A lot of people are asking me like, how long is this going to be? I was like, well, Ja was suspended indefinitely, and it lasted all of 2 games. So like, who knows?
Yeah,
like,
it definitely could mean anything.
Yeah,
I literally every single post I see, I comment ban him, and I get some
you're a
likes.
generation hater. Huh?
I get some movement.
Again, you could put Olynyk here. I think his salary fits. If not, you could put a little more filler in there. But I think the Warriors need to make a move like this, and I think the Jazz are looking to almost reward these players like Clarkson, Olynyk, especially where Olynyk's expiring. I think the Warriors would be more inclined to take that. But that's a small trade. It's not one that makes headlines.
I mean, but the thing is this is coming down to, if you're the Jazz, would you do this?
I would do it if I'm the Jazz. If I can get rid of Clarkson for a first round pick, not saying get rid of him like he's bad, but give him a better chance to go win games, and gives us a better chance to go lose games.
I mean, Wiggins is great,
and get a first round pick.
Sure,
yep.
I agree. I would also do this if I was the Jazz.
Okay, this one's fun. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
A 3-teamer.
3-teamer. I'm a huge 3-team guy.
A 3-teamer.
I've always been a 3-team guy. I always think they're way more fun. And they make trades work better. The Jazz are getting Jalen Hood Scafino. Am I saying that right? I never know how to say that one. Spencer Dinwiddie, and a top 10 protected first round pick from the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
The Los Angeles Lakers are getting Jordan Clarkson. He takes over the Austin Reeves spot as far as creating in the fourth quarter when LeBron's on the bench. And the Nets are getting back D'Angelo Russell.
I mean, the Nets getting him back.
Excuse me. I made modifications. They're getting D'Angelo Russell and 2 second round picks.
Okay.
Which is more of just like a, hey, thanks for
that would
taking
make
him.
a lot more sense.
Yep.
Hey, let me give away Dinwiddie for literally nothing.
They'll give away an expiring for 2 more years.
For a deal that I literally just tried to trade.
Yeah. So the Nets, again, are kind of stuck in a weird spot where they're trying to win games, but they really don't have their picks. Or I guess, excuse me, they do have some picks.
Yeah.
They're Houston's, whatever the case is. They get more picks. The Lakers get
this is a no-brainer for the Lakers.
No-brainer, right? Like,
this is an absolute no-brainer for the Lakers.
Hood and D'Angelo for Clarkson.
No-brainer for the Lakers. For the Nets, I mean, honestly, too, they get their picks. So I think it's probably the most valuable, and then D'Lo will just help. Going to the Jazz side of things, we give away 1 pick. I guess it's a second rounder in
JC, 2029
for Dinwiddie and Jalen Hood.
I think
I don't see why not.
I think the top 10 might be a little heavy, but again, do the Lakers want to give away anything that's less than top 10? Because they're giving away D'Angelo and Jalen, who's a young, good player who I think can turn into something, and a first round pick just for 3 years of Clarkson. LeBron would have to be all in on this.
See, if you're honestly, this is probably the best trade for the Lakers, just because they need a guy like JC, like literally like need.
Yeah.
As much as they rely on Tarion Prince to hit threes, like I'm sure they would love JC.
Yeah.
So if you're the Jazz, are you taking this trade?
If I'm the Jazz, I'm taking it. I'm getting more assets. This is better than the Warriors pick.
Yeah. If I'm the Jazz, I'm taking this trade, and I'm taking this one over the Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're getting a young player, you're getting an expiring with Dinwiddie, which are really valuable, and then obviously a first round pick that's heavily protected.
Yeah.
If I'm the Jazz, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
you're doing it as well.
I'm doing it as well.
I like this one.
I like that a lot.
This is a fun one. I think that's it as far as trades I have. Oh, there you go. I have a few.
No, wasn't there a John Collins one?
Did I have a John Collins
Yeah,
one?
you did.
Let me find it.
It was a Wizards one.
I found it. This one's fun.
So John Collins has also been on the trade block.
Yes.
So like, what can we honestly like? There's a lot of speculations with John Collins.
Yes.
I'm starting to think that we were flipping him. We got him for literally nothing. For those out there, we got him for Rudy Gay and a second round pick, basically a bag of chips.
Yes.
And like he's played good. So people are saying it's not the right system. You know, he's still a good player, but he doesn't fit in the system. And I'm like,
he's had his moments.
So did we like flip him? Because we can probably get like a first round pick or like something out of him now.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I wonder if Danny Ainge in the back of his head was like, okay, we're going to take him, we're going to flip him and get more out of it. I don't know. If we trade him that quick, I want to say that's what we were thinking, but I don't know. Because I think it's really premature to be like, yeah, he doesn't fit. Let's get rid of him.
Yeah, like let's just hand him away.
I don't know about it. So
what if I told you the Jazz might be trading him for a player we don't know yet? You're like, oh, that's kind of cryptic.
Yeah.
The free agent class next year is loaded with wing scorers. You played enough 2K in your life.
Yeah.
Who was one star player who always ended up in the simulations ended up in Utah? Any idea? For me, it was always the same player ended up in Utah.
Really?
Yeah.
When I think of that simulation, I just think of Jeremy Lamb for some reason.
Jeremy Lamb, he was
I don't know why he was always involved.
Paul George was always on Utah for some reason.
Dude, that would be insane. Not happening, but
he is a player option coming up.
It's not happening.
The Jazz, and again, there's a handful of other players that the Jazz could go get. Tobias Harris. I don't think DeMar Rosen fits our timeline.
Tobias Harris is probably the most realistic.
Emmanuel Quickly, who I do like. Obviously, James Harden we're not going after. OG and Anunoby. There's a few.
He's a guy that we should get.
There's a few that are coming up in this next free agent class. If you look at it right now, the Jazz don't have a lot of cap space. But this next trade will give them a lot of cap space. What they would be doing is they'd be attaching a second round pick to John Collins in 2029 and sending it over to one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference right now, the Washington Wizards.
Dude, they're good, man.
They've been dying for a player like John Collins.
They are good.
A culture builder, just he would fit in over there.
It's like, have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
You know when the little fat guy's, dying and he asks for his pills and Lloyd's like, pills are good, and shoving pills in his mouth. That's why I feel like this trade is. It's like John Collins is good.
Here's the thing. The Wizards, I don't know why the Wizards would do this exactly. I mean, maybe John Collins fits a hole they don't need, or the Wizards have no direction is what I'm getting at.
There is no direction in Washington.
And we might need to attach a first round pick, like a heavily protected, like lottery protected first round. I don't know what the pick would be. I just did second because we could talk about it. In return, the Jazz get Gallinari and Tyus Jones, both of which are expiring this offseason.
We probably honestly cut Gallinari and keep
immediately.
Jones.
Yeah, like Tyus actually does fill a hole.
I like Tyus Jones.
Yeah, I think he helps us this year just to like help Keontae and stuff. But as far as
then we're so point guard heavy at that point.
We're point guard heavy, but we're open with cap space next year, which is the biggest thing.
So do you do this trade then? If I'm the Jazz, I'm not doing this.
You don't like the cap space next year?
No, I don't do this.
I would rather have cap space this upcoming summer than have John Collins for another 3 years.
I agree, but like I just don't. I'm not interested in this one.
Well, just because you're giving, like, I just understand.
I guess I'm like more like Danny Ainge isn't going to do this. I'm like trying to think like Danny. I'm like,
I don't know if he would,
because I think we can. I really do think we're flipping him, and I think we're going to get.
You think we can get a first round pick, huh?
Yes, and I think we can. I think we can get like probably a decent trade out of it. Are we going to? A lot of times we just kind of like succumb to these things and we're just like, we'll just trade you kind of thing. I'm sure that's like what Atlanta did. They got to the point where they're like, yeah, we'll take Rudy Gay.
Get any higher than it is right now.
Yeah. And so like, is this realistic? Absolutely. I mean, great. It's a great like trade. Like
give us cap space,
it makes sense. Would I do it? Probably not.
You've always been like a big splash trade guy. Like I don't want to trade someone unless I'm getting Tatum back.
No, that's the thing is I'm a blockbuster.
Yeah, you are. And I was the type
people
of guy.
Hate me in fantasy.
I believe it. Because I'm the guy, I'm like, hey, I'll give you 2 second round picks for like cash. And they're like, I guess. Yeah. I'm like, sweet, let's do it.
Like literally everybody hates me in fantasy because I never trade. Ever.
Because you just want the big stars. No,
and I live in a world where it's like if I trade them and they do good, I like hate myself.
Yeah, you can't sleep
at
night.
So like I only do it if it's like a blockbuster, and I'm like, yeah, this is happening.
Yeah,
but yeah, I usually never trade because I'm like, let's just ride this out. Like let's ride it out more than like a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's where I'm at with John Collins. Is I'm like, let's ride this out a little bit.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, like
because we have until February.
He was our best player the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why the Wizards might want him. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. So I'm like, okay, well, like, maybe we can get more.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a huge I don't know trade.
Yeah.
If his value starts dropping, pick up the phone and call him.
Yeah.
Just that way we can get off the books with him.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for my trade machine talk.
No.
I think I capped out with that.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, dude, that was fun stuff. I could do that
talk.
literally all day.
Same.
So would love to hear everybody's commentary. Would you do these trades? Would you not? What kind of people do you think are on the trade block?
Was I in my bag? Was I not?
Was Paul in his bag on these trades?
Probably not.
These could surface.
Yeah.
I mean, Woj has been on our backs lately.
Steph, I think.
Steph also has
impressive,
hit big moves. And so, maybe these are going to start surfacing around the socials. I don't know.
We'll see.
So let us know what you guys think. This has been a great pod. We'll catch you back. I think we're doing Friday, right? That'll kind of be the next pod for, I think, another week because it's Christmas time. We want you guys to spend time with your families as much as you're dying to listen to STLK and the UTA. But this has been a fun episode. We have Steven Ashworth coming on next week, which I'm really excited about. Creighton guard, probably I think he's top 3 in 3-point shooting in the nation this year. Amazing player, good friend of ours, and so that'll be a fun one. And then we'll get Jazz Pod next week, but it's on Friday too.
Yeah.
So this has been the STLK in the UTA Jazz Podcast. I'm Conjo, and this is Paul. As y'all know, we'll catch you back on Friday.